In the heart of a city shrouded in darkness, a series of grotesque murders had begun to unravel the fabric of our once peaceful community. As a woman police officer, I had seen my share of horrors, but nothing could prepare me for the malevolence that lurked behind these crimes. The killer, a shadowy figure, had been performing satanic rituals on his victims, leaving behind a trail of blood and terror that chilled the soul. The first time I arrived at a crime scene, the air was thick with an unspeakable dread. The victim, a young woman, lay at the center of a pentagram, her body mutilated in a manner that seemed to mock the very essence of life. Her eyes, wide open, stared into the void, as if pleading for mercy from an unseen tormentor. Around her, candles flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls like specters. It was clear that this was no ordinary killer. We were dealing with someone who believed in the power of darkness, someone who sought to commune with forces beyond our understanding. As the investigation progressed, I found myself drawn deeper into a world I never knew existed. Each crime scene was more elaborate than the last, each victim chosen with a purpose that only the killer understood. Clues were scarce, and the few we had led us in circles, always ending in dead ends and frustration. The city was on edge, fear gripping the hearts of its inhabitants as they wondered who would be next. I began to immerse myself in the study of satanic rituals, hoping to find some insight that could lead us to the killer. Nights turned into days as I pored over ancient texts and spoke with experts in the occult. The more I learned, the more I realized that we were not just hunting a murderer. We were battling an ideology, a belief system that reveled in chaos and destruction. It was then that I received a tip that would change everything. A man, cloaked in mystery, claimed to have information about the killer. We met in a dimly lit cafe, where he spoke in hushed tones about a cult that operated in the shadows, performing rituals to gain favor with demonic entities. He warned me that the killer was not acting alone, that he was merely a pawn in a much larger game. Armed with this new knowledge, we intensified our efforts, raiding suspected cult hideouts and arresting members in connection with the murders. But the killer remained elusive, always one step ahead, his identity a puzzle we could not solve. Then, on a night when the moon was hidden behind clouds, we received a call. A woman had escaped from the clutches of the killer, her body bearing the marks of a ritual that had been interrupted. With her help, we were finally able to track him down to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. As we breached the doors, the scene that unfolded before us was one of chaos and madness. The killer, robed and chanting, stood before an altar, surrounded by the members of his cult. They turned towards us, their eyes glowing with a fervent madness, as if they had glimpsed the depths of hell itself. In the ensuing confrontation, we managed to subdue the killer and his followers. But the cost was high. Lives were lost, and the scars of that night would haunt us forever. The killer, when unmasked, was a man of no significance, his features plain and unremarkable. Yet behind those eyes lurked a darkness that was incomprehensible, a reminder of the evil that can dwell within the human soul. In the aftermath, as the city tried to heal from its wounds, I was left with a feeling of unease. Though we had stopped the killer, the ideology that drove him remained, a lurking shadow waiting for the next vessel to continue its dark work. As I walked the streets, The darkness seemed to whisper, reminding me that evil never truly dies. It merely waits for its moment to rise again, its moment to rise.